Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, B Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. Still a little chilly. That little heater ain't getting me warm enough. I'm still out here putting my work in, doing what I do for you. So let's do what we do. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life, through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritual asleep. I'm gonna awaken them with what? I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That'll do it. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my eye, be true. Ooh, we making ground. Right thinkers, this is the book. I had a question. A guy asked the question, what book I'm teaching from? The Anuian Theology. Okay? That's the book from Dr. Muata Ashby, excuse me. Now we at page 119. We only up to 150 something, I think, so we rolling. All right, let's go. Right there, let's talk about the Trinities. Okay, I knew it. There's a few of them I'll break down for you. And then we're going to talk about my favorite, the iconograph of the Trinity of the hawk truant forms of Heru. Break down where that concept comes from. That should be nice. Let's go. Let's get this thing started. I'm going to have some fun. Now, there's the myth of the Ra and Aset. Ra says, during this myth, he says, I am Kepri in the morning at sunrise. Let me show you a quick picture. This is the three trinities of God. Right there. First one is Kepri. You see the scarab here? That's the beetle, okay? He's represented at the morning sunrise. At noon, that's Ra, okay? In full regalia, that's him. And at the end of life, that's Atum, Tim, okay? That's sun going down. That's the end of life concept, okay? Now, these are three true ones that we're going to talk about right now, okay? I want to give you a picture of that so you get an idea who we talk about. And during the myth, he tells you, I am Kepri in the morning, Ra at noonday, and Tim at the evening, close of the day, a.k.a. Omega. Kepri would be Alpha, Tim would be Omega. And thus we have Keper, Ra, Tim, the Trinity. And there's a sign, you got the sign here for God, is the circle with the dot in it. Then with Atum, because he was one who masturbated, ejaculated, and caused himself to create life, they got a penis and represent him. They know that's the tomb, okay? He got a face too by the body, but that's the hieroglyph for him. And then you got the scarab head beetle, Kepri, and then you got the sign for God, which is the flag. I'm learning how to read hieroglyphics. Go ahead, boy. I'm picking it up. Look at this. Okay, see, I can break that down for you right quick. I just shocked myself. Where that? Right here. Okay? That's the sign for God, dot in the circle. That's the cut means sovereignty. Okay, I forget that one. But see right there, that's a tomb. That's Kepri. All right? And they all are what? Gods. All in one. Love it. See? And they wrote like that, so you had to break it down to understand. So I'm learning from seeing it so many times. I'm recognizing some of them. Okay? So where we at. Just want to break that down to you. And these are the guys of the Anoian triad, right? And Heker, which is words of power. When you speak things into existence, okay, that's what Ra did, according to this lesson. All right. So now in chapter 4 of the Per M Heru, the initiate, right thinkers, identifies him or herself, again, always male and female, with Tim. Why Tim? Tim symbolizing that what his or her life as a human being with human consciousness is coming to what? An end. Old age. I'm headed down that road now. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's getting a little shaky. But that's what happens. I'm representing him now. But instead of an awareness of what? Individuality, me, I, and your human limitations, now there is what? A new awareness of what? Infinity. And immortality. So death ain't feared. Why? They welcome it now. Why? They going to the next life. They didn't see death as the end. That's why, conceptually. Now watch this. Even though the physical body continues to exist, and it will die in what? A normal course of time. Eventually. Again, it's just going to run out. It's built that way. So they know that. But now, you the initiate, right thinker, knowing thyself, becoming conscious of who you are, what happened. You initiate will now live on as what? As a living soul, and you join with Tim, we call it Asar, in individual consciousness. Your consciousness now joins what? The cosmic consciousness, aka God. You become one with God. Maybe it's just me, but it makes so much sense. All right, I'm trying to explain it to you where you can understand it, but it makes a lot of sense to me. So watch this. He says, now, all these phrases y'all hear about God in the Bible, all stolen. This is what it was said at the beginning. I am Tim in the rising. I am the only one. I came into being with new. I am Ra, the one who rose in the beginning. So he's telling you who he is, where he comes from. Not no new bureau, not no scientist, not no Garden of Eden nonsense. Moving on. So now I just showed you the 3 right there. I think I showed you the beginning. Yeah. I showed you the big picture. That's the little picture. That's them right there. Okay. Morning, Kepri, noon, Ra, Tim, going down. Okay, old age. The Egyptian had a Sphinx that had to ask a riddle. What starts off on 4, goes to 2, and ends up on 3. Man, you come out newborn, you crawl like the scarab. Ooh, I like that. And then noonday, you upright. You at your best point, what? In your prime. Okay, you stand alone, you upright. That's high noon. And then the evening, you going down to old age, that back start to bend over, you get a little weak, so you need your what? A walking stick. Hence your 3rd leg. Moving on. Quick lesson. Hope you enjoyed that one. I keep that in the slot for you every now and then. Try to give you something to go with. And I just showed you the picture of Ra Atum. From the left, you see Kepri. In the middle, you see Ra. And at the right, Atum. The phase of life, the cycle of life, the cycle of the day. How about that? I'm rolling right now. In this passage, watch this now, it gets good. This passage is very important. Why? Because it helped establish what? The mystical transcendence of you, the initiate, who has what? Realized within himself the oneness and the union with the divine, aka God. When that happens for every individual, it's a beautiful thing. In other papyrus, you got Tim is also what? Identified with who? The young Hamakis. Those are all the Sphinx and with the face of the pharaoh at that time going down the walkway. Okay? And you got young Heru, which was considered what they called the solar child. Star child, star baby, star seeds. Okay, with star dust, all that good stuff, yeah. But they knew this back then. We know that now because scientists can tell us. I listened to Neil deGrasse. He just got all the answers. So, but yeah, that's now. I know this from a long time ago. It ain't nothing new yet. Moving on. They ain't came up with nothing new yet. I'm just saying. I don't know everything, but I'm listening. I'm paying attention, and I'm learning. I love that. But watch this. He's the star child, the solar child, as the what? The morning sun. Thus, Kepri, Ra, Tem are just forms of what? The same being, and are the object of every initiate spiritual goal to become one. What? With your higher self. We're born, the baby we born, we come out, we crawling. We start gaining knowledge, we got to get understanding about what's going on. We become prime adults. And then as life go on, we get old. It's a phase of life. It ain't changed since it started. Okay? But once you become aware of that, now, and since being the oldest of the three theologies, which is Anu, the mysteries of Anu formed the basis and the foundation for what? The unfoldment of the teachings to espouse on them of mystical spirituality, which what would follow in the mysteries of Hetekaputta. I hate when I do that. It's Hetekaputta, yeah. Which is through Ptah, which is that time in Thebes, and the mysteries of Thebes. Okay, he's in Memphis. In Thebes, they got who? Amun. Every place, the three spots had their own god, which represents each one of them. How about that? In which each succeeding what? Exposition, the teachings was getting what? More and more refined. Meaning they're getting better as it goes until what? It reaches its quintessence in what? The hymns of Amun. I'm going to read that to you coming up, but that's where we headed. And on the page I just showed you, the three gods. How about this one? You know who this guy is? I'm going to just show you. Heru, the child in Nefertim from creation, how to stand on the lotus, which springs forth from the primeval ocean also. In India, they use the lotus flower to signify new life. Why? Because it grows in the worst place ever. And my man Sadi said, the stinkier, the dirtier, the nastier, the lotus become more and more pure. How that works? Why? God does that. He take you from nothing and make something. He do it all the time. When you got the power to do that within yourself, that's what they mean by being in God's image. You create from a thought, from the heart, transform it, and then speak it to existence. And this is one a bronze statue, what I just showed you, Nefertim. Okay, I'll read that down for you, and we're going on to the next one. I'm about to have some fun. If I can get through it, it might be different lessons. So let me wrap this one up for you. I just showed you a picture. Now, in relations to what they call the solar mysticism, the iconograph of the Nefertim is instructive. There's a lesson here. Watch this. Nefertim means what? The beautiful, or the good completion. Heru, spiritually enlightened. The same thing. They same places, different places, but they mean the same thing. Watch this. Now, through the young solar divinity, Nefertim is what? Therefore, that sun which emerges as a child emerges from what? From the dark womb in order to create a new day. Ra is swallowed up by Nu and gave birth to every morning. That's the concept from the ancient pre-dynastic form. But Nefertim now, he brings creation forth by what? Means of speech. Specifically by what? Uttering the name of all things. His father, Ptah, uttered himself into existence. Nefertim did the same thing. He got his mouth, he got his hand in the mouth. Power in the mouth. They tell you the tongue is a two-way sword. It can hurt, it can kill. Harm or do what? Yeah, good or bad. That's the concept. That's Mayat. Whatever that duality, that's what Mayat represents. That's the first thing that I did. Put order. That's what Mayat represents. Order. Meaning you have a choice. This or that. Now, as modern physics, here you go. Now, the modern physics informs us what? All matter vibrates at a particular level. You have music frequencies, and research also reveals that sound what vibrates. The mysticism of the teachings instructs us in the wisdom that what sound is controlled by what? You ready? The mind. Okay, and the mind is composed of what? Like the primordial state, ocean, undifferentiated consciousness. Sometimes it's busy, sometimes it's not, but it's undifferentiated. I mean, anything can become up, and you got consciousness is what is essentially what? The all-pervasive spirit. Thus, in order to what? Affect matter, it is simply what? Necessary to affect what? Its vibration. You hear him say, live on low vibration, high vibration. That's what they talk about. We use it in all different kinds of symbolisms, okay? Watch this. The music we play now is to keep you in the low vibrational state. Back in the day, music was inspiring, emotional. Get you either in the mood to make love, get you amped up, get you ready to dance. But now this music is just all depressing, suppressing, right? And watch this, it affects the vibration. And this can be done, watch this, by uttering certain sounds with the desired intent. You hear that? The desired intent. God intended to what? Create creation. On purpose. It wasn't an accident. And thus, what? Uttered its own name. There we go again. And creation came into being. I would take that story any day over. You was in the lab, our genes been spliced, we went from apes, we went from man. I ain't got time for all that. Moving on, that's what I'm saying. You can listen, it's information. Okay, is it useful for those who indulge like mine? For those who feel the same way about what I do, so I get it. But I do my thing. I'll do my thing over here. You do your thing over there. I ain't worried about you. Let us not forget what? That understand creation is composed of the noon again, or what we call primeval matter, which transformed itself. Again, not in a laboratory, not from another planet. It transformed itself in the Paute, which we call nature, okay, God and goddesses. So therefore, you got what? Creation and God are what? One and the same. I've been trying to get that point across to you for the longest, and I'm going to start the lesson there because I'm about to get into this nice little iconograph from the Falcon concept. So let's go. I ain't going nowhere. Another lesson. The iconograph of the hawk. I like this one. It's going to be fun. All right. Ancient Egyptian iconograph. And they use this to make a point. They call them pictograph. Okay. Elements of scripture can identify, independently provide and keep mythological, religious, philosophical teaching, that's a mouthful, by themselves. This is one of the greatest strengths of the Kemetic scripture and art. This is because the reading process need not be limited to what? The deciphering of letters, before letters, but it can also derive meaning from what? Pictures used in the language, pictures used as letters, same thing, okay? One of the most important iconographs, okay, here we go. In the Kemetic religion involves the hawk icon. The hawk is an animal which flies high above what? The earth, and whose visual acuity allows it to survey vast regions while being able to focus on minute objects. Also, it is able to fly at high speeds. These qualities are what motivated the ancient Egyptian sages. Recognize this in the hawk. Understand this about the hawk. We use the falcon too, but I'm about to get to that. But they recognize all these qualities. Hence, that's why they put the head of the hawk on the body of man. Tahuti don't exist. Thoth, whoever you want to call it, don't exist. He's a concept, just like Jesus. Prototype, archetype, whatever you want to call it. Mythological person, not a real person. Sorry about that. Whoa, where did that come from? Back down. Get on back. Whoa. Sorry about that. Flashback. All right, but the Egyptian sages recognized this, and they used it as a symbol for the basis of what? The entire system of the Anuian mythology, which blends what? The concept of Tem, God, the singular essence which emerged out of the primeval void, primeval ocean, with the concept of Heru, which is man, the supreme divinity that's in all things. The hawk theme runs through the mythology of Tem as Atum Ra or Ra Tem, as well as that of Asar and that of Heru. All of those are going to have the falcon headdress, okay, or the hawk, okay. The hawk motif, there we go. What does it do? It unites and binds the mythology of Ra, Asar, and Heru in a very strong way, which is what? And we are to understand that we are indeed looking at the same divinity who is what? Who is manifesting in different aspects. There we go. And operating in different realms or planes of existence. Ra, that thing that's up there, represents perfection in the heavens up there. Or the transcendental, meaning before time and space, up there. Asar, which is the Seker, he represents perfection where? In the netherworld. He's the king of the afterlife, the dead. Y'all call it Hades or hell, but that would make him the devil, so we didn't have that concept. He was in charge of the underworld. Why? Everybody coming in. Oh, you gotta come through him. Okay? That's netherworld. That's watch this, the second one. And then Heru, I keep telling you, that represents me and you. Why? Because it represents perfection in the physical plane. I'm going to stop right there. Why? I see the clock. I'm going to pick this up in another lesson, but I want to get this point across to you. Hope you understand it, because I'll be right back with some more to prove my point about me and you being Heru. All right? In closing, right thinkers, may y'all let it be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. I'll be right back.